Class representatives. Class representatives. మధ్యలో కదిలించుకోకు, నేను ఇక్కడ వీడియో ఆడియో అన్ని ఆన్ చేసి ఉన్నాయి నాయి. Okay. So I will start with our class. Okay. So welcome to our Unit 3 last topic. Okay, the last topic of Unit 3 is applications of linked lists. Okay, up to now we have learned the three types of the linked list: single linked list, double linked list, and circular linked list. Okay, that three we have covered up to the previous class. Okay, now we'll go through the how we can use these linked lists in our real life applications, our real time applications. Okay, that we will see in our today's class. Okay, applications of linked lists. Okay. Okay, using this topic, you are able to understand and implement the linked list in real time applications. Okay, you will be know that how to work with the linked list in developing of a real time applications. Okay, that we can find out with this class. Next. Okay, our basic applications of linked list are in four ways. The four applications are there. Okay, one is using the linked list, we can create a stack, we can create the queues, and we can do the polynomial operations. Okay, polynomial addition, polynomial multiplications, and polynomial subtractions, divisions. These all we can do with the help of a linked list. And we can represent the sparse matrix using the linked list. Okay, so using the linked list, we can represent the sparse matrix. Okay. So now we'll go through the one by one these applications. Okay, the first application is the stacks. Okay, stacks is nothing but we already know that stack is nothing but a last in first out application. Okay, which is used to store the values in a temporary. Okay, that is the stack is already is implemented in our computer. Okay, that is whenever you are working with the operating system and whenever you are working with the system, okay, whenever you are performing a simple operations like additions, subtractions, multiplications, okay, the meanwhile addition results and multiplication results are stored within the stack. Okay, say for example, you are evaluating any arithmetic expression, okay, with the 4 or 5 operators. Okay, then for each and every operator, the result is stored into the stack, and the further operators are performed using the stack. Okay, this is generally created with the help of the arrays. Okay, but the same stack is also we can create with the help of the linked list. Okay, that is also especially to create the dynamic stacks. Okay, whenever you want to create a dynamic stack, that is without having any limitation of the size. Okay, so generally the stack is nothing but you have the limitation of the size. Okay, say for example, if you are created the stack initially with the 5 size, you can only store the elements of a 5. At a time we can store the 5 elements. Okay, so but here using the linked list, we can create a dynamic stack, okay, which cannot have any limitation of the size. Okay. Okay, the stack has two basic operations. Okay, the first operation is called as the push. Okay, which is used to insert a element into the stack. Okay, say for example, assume that stack as a box. Okay, whenever you are placing the books into the box, okay, will be first place the one book into the box. Okay, that is at the 0th place. Okay, that is the first book in the box. And whenever you place the another book on the into the box, okay, then that is the topmost book, okay, that in the stack, that is in the box. Okay, so like that we can place the one after the other into the box. Okay, whatever the book that is at the top of the box, okay, that only you can remove from the box, that only you can pick up from the box. Okay, so that we will call the stack as a last in first out. That is whatever the element or whatever the item you are placing at the last into the stack, okay, that only you can remove from the stack, that only you can remove at the first from the stack. Okay. Okay, every time you insert a one element into the stack, the top will be incremented from one to another. Okay, so that the top position specifies that, okay, where the new element to be inserted. Okay, so once after you push the one by one value, the top will be incremented, and you can place the another element at the top place. Okay, so this is the push operation. Okay, but whenever you are implementing this push operation with the using a linked list, okay, will be add the element at the end of the linked list. Okay, so why? Because assume that this 0th index as the starting of the linked list, and whenever you are inserting a new node into the stack linked list, okay, then that is incremented, that is linked to the next element. Okay, like that you can insert the one by one node into the linked list. Okay, so whenever you want to make it as a last in first out, then you need to insert a element at the end of the linked list. Okay, so that element you can remove from the stack. Okay, so insertion is performed at the top of the top of the stack, so that we can use the end insertion for the linked list. Okay, the next operation is the pop operation. Okay, this is removing an element from the stack. So whenever you are removing an element from the stack, you can remove the element of a top position. Okay, whatever the element which is at the topmost position of the stack, that only you can remove from the stack. Okay, so that we can do the deletion of the stack, deletion of an element into the from the stack of a linked list is, you can delete the last element of the stack. Okay, so you can insert the element at the last of the linked list, and at the same time you can delete the element at the last position of the linked list. Okay, so that only you can get the stack type of operations. Okay, we are using a same linked list that we have learned already. Okay, but we are using a push and pop operations as per the stack. Okay, so whenever you are pushing a element into the stack based linked list, then we need to add the element at the end of the linked list. Okay, whenever you want to make a operation of a pop operation, then we have to remove the last element from the stack. Okay, so then our linked list form the linked list can be used as the stack. Okay, so see this, the stack operations of the link using a linked list. Okay, push operation. Okay, it requires the two parameters. One is the starting node address, that is the first node address of the linked list, and item is the element to be inserted into the stack. Okay, so this procedure pushes the element into the stack, and this is similar to the inserting a node at the end of the linked list. Okay, this is similar operation of inserting a node at the end of the linked list. Okay, so you can be write it as the code for this push operation is similar to the okay, the push operation code is similar to like inserting a element at the end of the linked list code. Okay, this you can write it as push method. Start and item are the parameters for this. Okay. So new node equals to get node. First we need to create a node. Okay, so that new node equals to get node function. Okay, it returns the new node to inserted into the stack. Okay, then we are checking that whether the stack is null or not. That is whether the linked list is already available or not. Okay, if start equals to null, then the linked list is not available, so that we can assign the new node as the starting node of the linked list. Okay, else, okay, if it is not, is there already the linked list and stack is already created and some elements are inserted into that. Okay, then we can assign as, okay, we'll take the start address into the temp variable and we'll repeat the loop up to the temp is not equals to null, and we'll move from one node to another node and temp of next as the new node. That is, our new node is added as the last node of the stack. Okay, last node of the linked list based stack. Okay, okay, so that we have performed the push operation by inserting a node at the end of the linked list. Okay, and once I request all the CRs to post the attendance. 15 55 are attending the class. Okay. Okay, is there Danish, Nazir, Rahul, and Lakshanjani? Okay, is these three members are there in the class? Once respond in the chat box. If you are in the class, respond in the chat box so that we can CAS can take attendance of you. Okay, Sujita posted the EEA attendance. Okay, is these are absentees or presentees? Sujita, is these are absentees or presentees?
Ma'am.
Absentees are presentees are villu?
Presentees, ma'am.
Presentees. Okay, okay, thank you. Presentees. Okay. And B and C post your attendance. B section CR and C section CR post your attendance. Okay, today are very less to the class. Compared to yesterday, today is very less. Okay. Next is we'll see the pop operation. Okay, pop operation is removing the element at the last of the linked list. Okay, so we'll write a function as the pop and we'll pass the two parameters, start and item value. Okay, the item to be popped. Okay, here actually item is not required, only start address is required. So we are taking a temp and previous two variables. Okay, both are assigned with the start address. Okay, while temp is not equals to null. Okay, while we are moving the linked list up to the end of the linked list. Okay, and every time we'll throw the temp into the previous and temp is moved to the next node. Okay, that is previous variable stores the address of the previous node of the last node. Okay, because whenever you want to delete the last node, okay, you must be in the previous node of the last node. Okay, so that previous variable stores the temp address and temp is moved to the next node. Okay, whenever the temp becomes equals to null and it stops the loop, and next it assigns the previous of next equals to null. That is previous node next is the null. That is we are assigning the last node address as the null in the previous node, so that it is automatically deleted from the memory and free the memory space. Okay, free function is used to deallocate the memory space that is allotted for the temp variable. Okay, so this is the pop function. Okay, just whenever you are asked to implement the stack using a linked list, you need to write these two functions only. Push function to insert a node at the end of the linked list, and pop function to delete the node from the end of the linked list. Okay, just you need to mention the function names as the push and pop. Okay, that is enough. Okay, you can write a main function by calling these two functions. Okay, just write the main function and call the push function by passing some value, and call the pop function by passing a start address to the function. Okay, so otherwise you can write only these two functions also enough. Okay, just explain about what is the stack and then write the push function code and pop function code. Okay, that is enough for to implement the linked list as a stack. Okay, so now we'll go for the next application of the linked list. Okay, next second application of the linked list is queue. That is we can implement the queue, okay, based on the linked list. Okay, what is mean by the queue? Queue is a first in first out list. Okay, that is whenever the whatever the element which is inserted first into the queue, that is removed from the list first. Okay, okay, this is just like say whenever you are going to take a reservation tickets, okay, or somewhere else like movie tickets or something else. Okay, whenever you are going into the queue, Okay, one way is to enter into the queue, and another way there to come out of from the queue. Okay, whenever a person enters into the queue, that is the person who comes first from the queue also. Okay, so whenever the person enters last, the person comes out of queue is the last. So that first in first out is nothing but whichever enters into the first, okay, that will be removed from the queue first. Okay. So in operations of these queue are we have two operations like NQ and DQ. NQ is nothing but inserting the value into the queue, and DQ is deleting the value from the queue. Okay. So I will see these two operations. Okay. So stack is, there is only one end which is used for insertion and deletion. But in the queue, we will use the one end for the insertion and other end for the deletion. Okay, so that what are the operations here we require to insert a element? Linked list lo ఏ ఆపరేషన్ మనం యూజ్ చేయాలి ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయాలంటే ఎలిమెంట్ ఎక్కడ ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయాలి బిగినింగ్ ఎండింగ్ okay respond in the chat box. Okay, where we need to insert into the queue, either at the begin or end. B and C attendance also got. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, we need to insert the element at the end of the queue. Okay, and where we need to delete the element, from where we can delete the element in the queue? Beginning. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we need to delete the element from the beginning of the queue, and we need to insert the element at the end of the queue. So that we need to write the two functions. Okay, one function is to insert a node at the end of the linked list, and another function is to delete the element from the beginning of the linked list. Okay, then it becomes as a queue. Only these two functions we need to write. Okay, so the code for this queue operations are sorry. Okay, one second. It's taking time to take a next slide. So the first operation is insert queue. Okay, inserting an element into the queue. Okay, so for that we are writing a function is inserting at the end of the linked list. Insert a node at the end of the linked list. Okay, the function is insert queue. We are taking the two parameters, start and item, and create a node and assign to the new node variable, and check whether the linked list is empty or not. If it is empty, assign the new node as the starting node. Else, okay, take the start address into the temp variable and repeat the loop until unless temp is not equals to null, and move from the one node to another node, and temp of next equals to new node. That is why once you are reached to the end of the linked list, there you can assign your new node to the linked list. Okay, this is similar code in the our single linked list. Okay, just we are assigning a new node at the end of the linked list. Okay, that becomes the insert queue operation. Okay. Next, for deleting an element from the queue, we need to delete the first node of the queue. Okay, so that we take a temp equal to start. Okay, initially we'll assign the start node address into the temp variable, and we'll just show the whatever the element you are deleting, deleted and deleted temp of data. Just it shows the data of the temp node. Okay, just to inform the user that we are deleting this element. Next, start equal to start of next. Okay, just we are moving start pointer address from the first node to second node. Okay, so that automatically deletes the first node from the memory. Okay, so free the temp space. Okay, it deallocate the temp space. Okay, so we are removed the first element from the queue. Okay, so delete queue is to delete the element from the first of the queue. Okay, So these two functions we need to write whenever you are asked to implement the queue using a linked list. Okay, so first you need to explain about what is mean by the queue. Okay, then you need to write the insert queue operation for the inserting a new node at the end of the linked list, and next delete queue operation to delete the node from the beginning of the linked list. Okay, so these two functions you need to implement so that it implements the queue using the linked list. Okay, so here the linked list is either you can use a single linked list, or you can use a circular linked list, or you can use the double linked list. Okay, there is no restriction to use only single linked list for these two. Okay, stacks and queues can be implemented with single linked list or double or circular. Okay, so actually you are not asked about a particular linked list. Okay, so that you can use any of the linked list of these three. Okay, so next we'll go for the third application of the linked list. So third application of the linked list is, sorry, here the order is changed. Okay, so sparse matrices. Okay, we are going to implement the sparse matrices using the linked list. Okay, in number of your previous question papers of the data structures, they are used, they are asked the question to explain how to implement the sparse matrices using the linked list. Okay. Okay, so that I included this also in the applications of the our class, linked list class. Okay, this is a small topic. Okay, you just understand what is mean by the sparse matrix first. Okay, then you can easily implement the sparse matrix using the linked list. Okay, so first we'll see what is mean by the sparse matrix actually. Okay, so sparse matrix is nothing but the matrix with the less number of ones and more number of zeros, or we can also call it as a matrix with less number of non-zero elements and more number of zeros. Okay, so if a matrix is having maximum number of zeros and less non-zero values, okay, then that matrix can be called as a sparse matrix. Okay, okay, just remember this. Okay, say for example, if a matrix is with a 5 by 5 size, and that is nothing but 5 by 5 size is nothing but 25 elements, 25 values will be there, and out of these 25, some 3 or 4 values are only non-zero and remaining all are the zeros. Okay, then we can call that matrix as a sparse matrix. Okay, okay, and here just we are explaining how the sparse matrix is. Okay. Okay, the time complexity of the sparse matrix is order of n square. Okay, the time complexity is nothing but creation time and execution time of the sparse matrix. Okay, say whenever you have the only 4 or 5 values are non-zeros and remaining all are the zeros is nothing but, okay, there is a wastage of memory space for that zero values, and there is wastage of a code to traverse through that zero values. Okay, which we are not using at any cost. Okay, okay, so that it takes a more time to execute this sparse matrices. It takes the order of n square. Okay, if it is a 5 elements matrix, then 5 square, 5 by 5 into 5, 25 times we need to repeat through the our matrix. Okay, say for example a matrix is with the 100 by 100 size. Okay, then there are the only 10 elements or non-zeros. 100 by 100 size is nothing but you have the 10,000 elements in that matrix. Okay, out of 10,000 elements, you have only 10 elements are the non-zero. Okay, remaining all are the zeros. Then accessing these many number of elements is the time-consuming process, and assigning memory space for these number of elements is also waste. Okay, so that to reduce this memory space and to reduce the time to access these sparse matrices, okay, we got the requirement to use the sparse matrices to be represented in the form of a linked list. Okay, so or these can be represented in the form of an array also. Okay, but whenever you want to create a dynamic sparse matrix, then it is better to implement using the linked list. Okay. Okay, representation of a sparse matrix we can be done in the two ways. One is the triplet representation with the arrays, and the same triplet representation with the linked list. Okay, either we can use the array representation or linked list representation. Okay, each element is represented in the form of a triplet. Triplet is nothing but 3 values combination. Okay, each non-zero value is represented in the form of a 3 values. Okay, that we will call it as the triplet representation. Okay. Okay, we'll see how this triplet representation is. Okay, this is the triplet. Okay, each and every row, whenever you are representing a sparse matrix value, okay, say here this is a matrix, the sparse matrix. Okay, the first row has actually there are the 5 rows and 6 columns. Okay, so in the first row we have only one non-zero value 9. Okay, 9 is at the first row, 5th column. Okay, first row, 5th column we have 9, and second row, second column has 8, and third row has 2 values 4 and 2. So third row, first column has 4, third row, 4th column has 2, and fourth row, 6th column has 5, and 5th row, third column has 2. So here, whenever you want to whenever you are representing this sparse matrix as an array or as an linked list, okay, we need to mention only the non-zero values position. Okay, so the 9 position is first row, 5th column. Okay, so we need to give the row number, column number, and the value in that position. Okay, so row number, column number, and value in that position. Okay. So here in the computer programming languages, okay, the first row is called as the 0th row. Okay, so that we will be use the 0 for the first row, okay, 1 for the second row, 2 for the third row, 3 for the fourth row, and 4 for the fifth row. Okay, so as in that way, here the table is constructed. Okay, so 5 is the row, 6 is, sorry, this is the first row is, okay, the number of rows, number of columns, and number of non-zero values. There are the 5 rows, 6 columns, and 6 non-zero values. Okay. Okay, the first row is, okay, 0th row, 4th column has value 9. And one row, that is nothing but second row, one column, that is second column, has the value is 8. And third row, that is 2 is nothing but third row, 0th column has 4 value, and third row, 4th column, that is 3 index column has value 2, and third row, that is 4th row, 6th column has 5 value, and last row, that is 4th row, that is nothing but 5th row. Okay, second is third column has value 2. Okay, so like this we need to represent it. Okay, that this each row is in that this table is called as a triplet. Okay, 3 values combination. Okay, so the same triplets we can create as the linked list. Okay, so that you can do like this. Okay, each node has 2 parts. That is here this is implemented using the single linked list. Okay, so that the single linked list node has 2 parts. Okay, first part is data, second part is link. So we need not to change the link. We have only the link one pointer only. But in the data part, we have 3 variables. One variable for the row, one variable for the column, and one variable for the value. Okay. So like this, we can create the n number of rows as per the number of non-zero values in the matrix. Okay. So based on the number of non-zero values in the matrix, we can create the n number of nodes, and each node has row number, column number, and value. Okay, then this is called as a representing of a sparse matrix using linked list. Okay, so this we need to create. Okay, our normal single linked list, okay, with 3 variables as the data variables. Okay, so without creating a data as a variable, I'll create the int row, int column, int value. Okay, 3 variables. Okay, and self-referential pointer variable. Okay, so the just you can write the code for inserting of a node in the linked list, Okay, the same code you can use to insert, delete, traverse, create. The same code you can write. Only you need to change the structure, number of variables in the structure, and the remaining places where you are taking a data, there you need to take the 3 values. Okay, then it forms as a sparse matrix implementation using linked list. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Sparse matrix implementation using linked list. Is all of you able to write the code for this? Is all of you able to write the code for this sparse matrix using linked list? Okay, anybody once post the structure declaration for this sparse matrix? Just post the structure declaration. Okay, write in the chat box. Structure declaration. Create the structure as struct sparse and create the 3 variables and a 1 pointer variable. Anyone write the structure in the chat box? So anybody writing a structure in the chat box or not? Just write the structure in the chat box. Okay. Okay, no one knows this. Okay, I will give you this as a tutorial question. Okay, after completing the class, you can write. You just write the sparse matrix implementation using the linked list, and then post me that photocopies of your written. Okay, so మీరు code implement చేసి నాకు post చేయండి. So అది నాకు only creation and traversing చాలు. Creating the list and traversing of the list. Only these 2 functions I needed. Structure and creation of the creation of the sparse matrix using a linked list, and traversing of that is displaying that linked list. Okay, only these 2 functions, create and traverse, these 2 functions and structure. సో ఈ 3 నాకు క్లాస్ కంప్లీట్ అవగానే మీరు పేపర్ మీద రాసి నాకు ఫొటోస్గా పోస్ట్ చేయండి. So for the previous class, only 2 members has posted the tutorial questions. And in the previous class, I have given the tutorial questions. Okay, I have shared in the chat, the WhatsApp, and asked to complete the tutorial questions. Is anybody completed the tutorial questions? No response. Okay, out of 180, there is only 1 or 2 members are one or two members are joining. And at the same time, only a few responses from you all. Okay, the main aim of conducting these online classes is to know your doubts in the subject and to clear those doubts. Okay, not to just give the same class again. I think all these classes are covered in your regular classes also. And we had given videos from the last 2 months. Okay, I think it's from the April 1st, I'm recording these DS videos and I'm sending to EEC, and I think remaining sections also used the same videos. Okay, you have already listened these all videos. Okay, why we are conducting once again these classes is to revise the topics and also to know the doubts of you and to clear those doubts. Okay. And only very less people are responding in the chat boxes. Okay, if you respond properly, you will be have advantage of clearing your doubts. Okay. Okay, not only in this class, is whatever the class it is, you just respond for the questions asked by the faculty. Okay, this is not only the listening class. Okay, this is the interactive class. Okay, you need to interact with the faculty, then only it will be advantageous for these online classes. Otherwise, there is no use of all these online class. Are you following my message? Are you understood? Okay. Okay, I already informed that this is the final attendance and that will be used for your classes also. But very less are attending to the class. Next, we'll go for the next application of the class. This linker list. Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. The next application of this linker list are we'll see the. Okay, this is the another way of representing the linker list, the sparse matrix using the linker list. Okay, this is another way of a linker list representation. Okay, where we can create the one single linker list. Okay, okay, that is this is the header node, we will call it as 0 is a header node. Okay, okay, which has the one left link and one down link. Okay, left link points to the that particular row elements. Okay, that is this is just like a linker list of linker lists. Okay, there is a one linker list. Okay, each and every element of that linker list is another single linker list. Okay, so say for example, if there are the 5 rows, okay, you have the 5 elements in a one single linker list. Okay, and each and every element of that linker list will connect to the another single linker list. Okay, which stores the elements of the in that particular row. Okay, 0th element of this single linker list stores the linker list of elements in that row. Okay, in that row, that is 0th row, 2 is the column, 5 is the value. Okay, 0th row, 2 column, 5 value. And here the one row, 0th column, 2 is the value, 1 row, 1 column, 7 is the value, 1 row, that is first row, 3rd column, and 9 is the value. Okay, in the second row, there are no values. There are no non-zero values, so it is a blank. This linker list is the blank. And in the last row, first column has 3 value, and third row, second column has weight value. Okay, as per this given example matrix. Okay, so this is also the another way to represent the linker list based sparse matrix. Okay, previous one is very easy way of representing a linker list sparse matrix. Okay, this is somewhat difficult. Okay, but not that much, but you can implement this also. Okay, so for better, you just learn the previous representation of the linker list. Okay, this previous representation. Okay, okay, this is the easiest way. So just write the program for this. Okay, next we will see the polynomial addition using the linker list. Okay, based on this polynomial addition, you are now able to write the polynomial multiplication, subtractions, division, or remaining all other arithmetic operations of the polynomials. Okay, okay, this is another application of the linker list in a real life applications. Okay, what is mean by the polynomial? Okay, polynomial is nothing but okay, a term which is having the imaginary part and the real part. Okay, So x component and normal real value component. Okay, there is the two values combination is a one term. Okay, say for example that can be represented as f of x equals to sum of 1 to I 0 to n ai and x power I. Okay, ai is the real value or constant value and x power I is the x term, okay, with I as the power. Okay, so like this combination of ai and xi, we will mention the number of terms in the one equation. Okay, that is called as the polynomial equation. Okay, so whenever you are given the more than one polynomial equations, okay, those to be performed with the different operations like additions, multiplication, subtractions, or division operations. Okay, for that we are using this linked list for better performing of these operations. Okay. Okay, 1 second. The PPT is taking time to load. Okay. Okay. As per the definition of the polynomial, okay, so it will be it is a polynomial is nothing but a set of the values, a set of allowable operations on those values. Okay, that is called as a polynomial. Okay. What kind of operations we can perform on the polynomial is addition, subtraction, multiplication, differentiation, and integrations. These all also we can perform. But for the time being, we are just only learning how to perform the addition of the polynomials. Okay. So why to implement this polynomial operations using a linked list? Okay. So this is the actually the given example is for the differentiation of the polynomial. Okay. We'll see the addition. Okay. So and whenever you want to represent the polynomials, okay, we can represent either by using the arrays or by using the linked list. Okay, so arrays is it is not actually recommended because it takes a more space compared to the linked list. Okay, it occupies the more memory space to represent the polynomials, but linked list it takes a very less space to represent the polynomials. Okay, how it is we will see. I think there is some network problem. It is taking more time to load the one by one PPT. Okay. Okay, this is the way of representing using the arrays. Okay, say for example, your polynomial is like this. Okay, 16x power 21, that is the x power 21 term is 16 minus 3x power 5, that is with the power 5 term is 3, and 2x power 1, okay, 2x power 1 is the this term, and 6x power 0, that is the 6 is the term. Okay, here whenever you have to represent these terms into the array, okay, we need to represent that 21 and 5 and x powers are used as the indexes. Okay, whenever you are representing this polynomial in the form of array, okay, will be used this powers as the indexes. That is, at the 21 index we will store the value 16. At the 5 index we will store the value minus 3. At the 1 index we will store the value 2. At the 0 index we will store the value 6. Okay, so that okay, there are only 4 values, but you have to create the 21 size of a array. Okay, because highest power is 21, so you need to create the 21 size of a array. Okay, so the remaining all the elements, that is except these 4 locations, the remaining locations are the waste. Okay, there is no use of the remaining all the locations. We need to store the zeros. Okay, So that is the disadvantage of using the arrays to represent the polynomials. Okay, but if it is the linked list, okay, we can store the two values of in each and every node. Okay, that is the values are 16 and the exponent. Okay, coefficient and exponent both we will store in a node. So for one node it has the values are 16 and 16 is the coefficient and exponent is the 21. Second node has the values is -3 is the coefficient and 5 is the exponent. Third node has the value is 2 is the coefficient and 1 is the exponent. And fourth node has the value 6 and exponent is 0. Okay, so like this we can create the 4 nodes in the linked list and we can implement the polynomials using the linked list. Okay. So like this. So the first polynomial expression has 23x power 9, 18x power 7, 41x power 6, 163x power 4 and 3. And second has 4x power 6, 10x power 4, 12x and 8. Okay, so that first polynomial has the 5 nodes. So one value is 23 is the coefficient, 9 is the exponent. And for the second node, 18 is the coefficient, 7 is the power exponent. And for the third node, 41 is the coefficient, 6 is the exponent. And fourth node, sorry, it's given in the order of the exponents. Okay, so 9 is the first highest order of exponent, and next order of exponent is 7, 18, and next order of exponent is 6. Next here it is given in the wrong, sorry, 163 and 4 is the exponent, and 3x power is the 0. And the second polynomial expression is also represented in the same way. Okay, so now whenever you want to perform the addition of these polynomial expressions, we need to check the 3 cases. Okay, the first case is, okay, exponent of P1 is greater than the P2. That is, P1 first node exponent is greater than the P2 first node exponent. Okay, that is, okay, like this. Say if you want to add these two polynomials, we will compare the first node exponent value is 9, second P2 first node exponent is 6. Okay, 9 is greater than the 6. Okay, so we will store the 9 exponent value into the resultant polynomial, and we will add the coefficients of the two nodes. Okay, so whenever one exponent is greater than the another one, then we will store the highest exponent value, that is highest exponent value and coefficient into the resultant linked list. Because with the 9 exponent, we don't have any value in the P2 polynomial. Okay, whenever you are adding the polynomials, we can add the only same exponent values nodes only we can add. Okay, that is, in the first polynomial we have 6th exponent value is 41 and that and 4 exponent of 6. Okay, these two only we can add. Okay, same powers unna terms varke mana add cheyali. Okay, if there are no term with the particular power, then we can store directly the term into the resultant polynomial. Okay. Okay, so that is the first case. Okay, whenever the P1 exponent is greater than the P2 exponent, then we will store the P1 into the P3. That is, P1 is added to the end of the P3. That is, P3 is the resultant polynomial term, polynomial expression. Okay, in that linked list, we will add the P1 node. Okay. The second case is, okay, exponent of P1 is less than the exponent of P2. If the P1 node exponent is less than the P2 node exponent, then we will store the P2 into the P3 linked list. That is, P3 at the end of the P3 linked list, we will add our P2 the related node. Okay. Next, third case is, whenever the two exponents are equal, then we will create one new node in the P3. Okay. In the resultant polynomial expression, we will create one new node, and we will store the exponent is any one of the two terms exponent, P1 or P2 term exponent is stored into that, and coefficient is the addition of the P1 and P2 coefficients. Okay, the two P1 and P2 respective nodes coefficients are added, and that is stored into the new node, and that new node is assigned as the at the end of the P3 linked list. Okay. Okay, these are the two cases we need to check while performing the polynomial addition. Okay, the representation of the structure of the polynomials is poly node. Okay, coefficient is the one integer variable, exponent is the one other integer variable, and struct polynode next, that is the link variable for the node to node connection. And next type def the your structure name as the poly PTR or something like node, or you can take any another name. Next, okay, we need to we are taking a two example polynomial expressions. Okay, the two polynomial expressions are 3x power 14, 2x power 8 plus 1. Another one is 8x power 4, 3x power 10 and 10x power 6. Okay, two both are represented as the linked list. Okay, so A is the one single linked list and B is the another single linked list. Okay, now we need to add these two linked lists. Okay, first we are checking the first node of the A linked list and first node of the B linked list. Okay, so A linked list first node has 3 coefficient and 14 is the exponent, and second node exponent is the 14. Both are the same. Okay, so that we will add the coefficients. 8 plus 3, 11. Okay, this is the D is the resultant polynomial. Okay, 11 is the result value and 14 is the coefficient value. Okay, so here the condition is two exponents are equal. Okay, next we are moving to the next node. Okay, whenever you are doing this, okay, whatever the node, that is if the two exponents are equal, okay, then we will move the next node in the both the linked list. In the A linked list and also in the B linked list, will move to the next node. Okay, say for example, if the first node exponent is greater than the second node, okay, then we will assign the first node values into the resultant polynomial and will move one node next in the first polynomial. Okay, so అంటే ఏ polynomial లో node అయితే మీకు resultant లో యాడ్ అవుతుందో, so in that polynomial we will move to the next node. Okay, if A is greater than B, then we will move to the next node in the A. If B is greater than the A, then we will move to the next node in the B. Okay, and A will be kept in the same place of the previous. Okay, so remember that. Okay, so these two are equal, so that I will move to the next node in the A, next node in the B also. Okay, now we need to compare the second node of the A, second node of the B. Okay, second node of the A is the 8 exponent and second node of the B is 10 exponent. Okay, so B exponent is greater than the A exponent. Okay, so that we will store the second B node values into the resultant, minus 3 and 10. Okay, now the pointer of the B polynomial is only moved to the next node and A will be on the same second node. Okay, A will be on the same second node and B is moved to the third node, 10 and 6. Okay, now we'll compare the second node of the A and third node of the B. So 8 is greater than the 6. So now we'll move the A polynomial term into the resultant, 2 and 8. Okay, now we'll move the second and next node to the A. Okay, next node of the A, that is 1 and 0. Okay, now we'll compare the 1 and 0 and 10 and 6. Okay, 6 is greater than the 1 0. Sorry, 1 second. 6 power is greater than the 0 power. So we will store the 10 and 6 in the resultant polynomial. Okay. So here once one of the linked list is completed and reaching to the end of the linked list, okay, then we will store the remaining nodes of the other linked list directly to the resultant polynomial. అంటే మనకి B linked list complete అయిపోతుంది. 6 తో కంపేర్ చేసిన తర్వాత B linked list complete అవుతుంది. Okay, so that okay, we'll add all the remaining nodes in the A linked list directly to the D resultant linked list ki direct ga remaining nodes annitni add chesestam. Okay. Okay, this is the process of a polynomial addition using the linked list. Okay, this is a sample code of that. Okay, so only I am giving a code for addition operation. Okay, so the related functions also there, compare function, attach term, even functions inka extra unnai. Okay, but only I am giving a brief outlook of the addition of two polynomials. Okay, whenever you are asked to perform the addition of the two polynomials, you need to write the three cases of the addition, and you need to take the two examples of the polynomial expressions and show how these are added and how we'll get the third polynomial, that is resultant polynomial. Okay, based on that you can write the steps. Okay, so that it is enough to write the algorithm for the polynomial addition. Okay, so and I will also send the programs for these all. Okay, polynomial addition program and a single linked list, circular, double linked list, and stacks and queues. Okay, these all I will send you through your staff. You can find out that programs. Okay, so you are also have these codes in your notes which is shared to you. సో మీకు షేర్ చేసిన ల్యాబ్ మాన్యువల్లో కానీ మీకు షేర్ చేసిన డిఎస్ నోట్స్లో ఈ కోడ్ అంతా ఆల్రెడీ అవైలబుల్ ఉంది, ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ అన్నీ అవైలబుల్ ఉన్నాయి. ఓకే, యూ కెన్ చెక్ ఫ్రమ్ దేర్ ఆల్సో. ఫర్ ద థియరీ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ యూ నీడ్ టు రైట్ ద స్టెప్స్ ఆఫ్ ద రిక్వైర్డ్ కోడ్. అంటే ఆ కోడ్లో ఉన్న పార్ట్ని మీరు స్టెప్స్గా రాస్తే సరిపోతుంది. మీకు థియరీ పార్ట్ అంటే ఎక్స్టర్నల్ ఎగ్జామ్లో థియరీ ఎగ్జామ్లో కనుక అడిగితే మీరు కంప్లీట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయక్కర్లేదు. ఓన్లీ మీకు ఏ ఆపరేషన్స్ అడిగారో ఆపరేషన్స్ వరకు మీరు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసి దానికి రిలేటెడ్ కోడ్ కానీ అదర్వైజ్ ద రిలేటెడ్ స్టెప్స్ కానీ రాయాలి. ఓకే, పర్టికులర్గా మీకు సి ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయండి అని అడిగితే దెన్ యూ నీడ్ టు రైట్ ద సి కోడ్, అదర్వైజ్ యూ నీడ్ నాట్ టు రైట్ ద కంప్లీట్ కోడ్. ఓకే, సి ప్రోగ్రామ్ అని అడిగితే దెన్ యూ నీడ్ టు రైట్ ద కంప్లీట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఆఫ్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ ఆపరేషన్స్. ఓకే, okay, these are the tutorial questions for today's class. Okay, note down these three tutorial questions. Write the algorithm for the polynomial multiplication. Write the algorithm to represent the sparse matrix using linked list. Write the algorithm to represent circular queue using linked list. అంటే నార్మల్ క్యూ మనం ఆల్రెడీ డెవలప్ చేసాం, బట్ యూ నీడ్ టు రైట్ ద కోడ్ ఫర్ సర్క్యులర్ క్యూ యూజింగ్ లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్. ఓకే, okay, these are the three tutorial questions you need to answer for by the next class. Okay, I think already it's a time is more than the required time. Okay, thank you. And so post these three tutorial questions answers in our Teams chat box. Teams lo mana class chat box untundi, a chat box lo post cheyandi. Okay, సో వన్స్ మీకు ఈ చాట్ కంప్లీట్ అయ్యి క్లాస్ కంప్లీట్ అయిన తర్వాత అయినా పర్లేదు పోస్ట్ చేయండి. ఓకే, లీవ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద క్లాస్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.